Hi, welcome to another episode of Vineyard at Home. Welcome to my home office. Going to talk to you about economics today, and not the general economics that you might be thinking of. We're going to talk to you about kingdom economics. Economics has been defined as the study of scarcity and the study of how people use resources. And one of my favorite definitions of economics is the study of how people make decisions. Jesus, he invites us into a very specific way of making decisions, and especially in using our resources. And like I said, I call this kingdom economics. In the last few chapters of Proverbs, you'll probably notice that there's a common theme running through the last several chapters, and it's pretty much, you could sum it up like this: that how God values people versus the way the world values people. God values people no matter their social, their financial, or even the racial circumstance. That's how God values people, and that's not the way the world values people. Kingdom economics is a way of viewing people and even God's creation that is, kind of in a lens that's opposite of the dog-eat-dog world, or the survival of the fittest that this world tends to live by. Those are the principles and the standards of the world. But Proverbs 29:7 is a great example of God's economics. And it says that the righteous, they care about justice for the poor, but the wicked, they have no such concern. This is a direct example of what God's economic system looks like. He values the poor, and his people ought to value what he values. So if you look at this from a trade-off perspective, there's a financial term for you. A trade-off perspective is going to ask, if I work towards justice for the poor, what can the poor give me in return? And they basically come to this conclusion that they'll never really be able to get a good financial return on investment. And that's the essence of kingdom economics, is that God asks us and invites us to sow into things where it doesn't actually look like there'll be a return. But in kingdom economics, it's not the same as the economics of the world. This is because, again, what God values is not the same as what the world values. When the members of God's kingdom begin wisely valuing the things that God values, it improves the condition of everyone involved in the system. So the more generous that I become to the people that are in need, yes, it helps them, but it also, God uses it to work on my heart, right? So walking in wisdom is, valuing what God values with a sense of sacrifice. Because, sacrifice is never easy. And sacrifice, in the eyes of the world, will always be difficult. But sacrifice, if you think about sacrifice is giving up something you love for the sake of something you love more, right? So there's something that you love, and you give up something that you love for something that you love more. That's kingdom economics at its finest. So when God's people, they make sacrifices for what God values, there is a return on investment that is greater for anyone that can imagine. Now here's my question for you today. What is it that God is calling you to invest in? Maybe even a better question. Who is God calling you to invest in? And this has been your Economic Minute.